Hello all, my name is Tim Erskine, and today I'm giving a speech on alcohol and how it affects the body. So before I get started, I'm going to go ahead and scan the audience here. Okay, so today my purpose is to inform you about alcohol and the possible harmful effects it could have on your body when consumed in excessive amounts. So first, I'm going to define excessive amounts for you. So a 12-ounce beer, a 1.5-ounce shot glass, and a 5-ounce glass of wine are all equal. So for a male, when you consume 14 units of alcohol per week, that is considered excessive, or more than 4 units of alcohol per day. For females, if you consume more than 12 units of alcohol per week, or more than 3 units per day, that is considered excessive. So I'm sure some of you may be sitting there thinking that you already know what happens when you get drunk. You get dizzy, you might puke, you'll maybe forget a few things. While some of these things may be true, it actually is a lot more in depth than just that. Alcohol can not only affect your body in the short term, but also the long term. So today I plan to show you how alcohol specifically targets your body's brain, heart, liver, and immune system, and how it physiologically affects them. Okay, so I'm writing about this topic because I think it's pretty prevalent in universities around not only the U.S. but the world, as binge drinking is a very partaken activity. Also, I think it's just extremely interesting to research about. So I'm going to start by showing, first and foremost, how alcohol affects the brain, since that's where most people feel it first. First, they're felt in the brain because it can disrupt the balance of neurotransmitters, which are essentially your brain chemicals, and thus you feel adverse effects after consuming this alcohol. Neurotransmitters are affected overall by alcohol and can create adverse effects for the consumer of alcohol. So binge drinking or heavy consumption on even just one occasion can throw off your brain's chemicals. Alcohol slows down the relay of information to the rest of your body, and this may be when you feel drowsy or slow. Researchers also state that neurotransmitter imbalance can trigger mood and behavioral changes, including depression, agitation, memory loss, and even seizures. This is from an article called Beyond Hangovers by the National Institute of Alcohol Abuse and Alcoholism. Also, when a particular neurotransmitter called glutamate is affected, it could possibly result in memory loss. Researchers go on to state that when alcohol interferes with this glutamate action, it may be what temporarily causes some people to black out or forget much of what happens during that night of heavy drinking. And again, that's from the same institute. So now I'm going to show you, that was more short-term effects of what can happen to your brain. Now more onto long-term. Long-term drinking can cause actual physiological changes in your brain. So that means that not only can it affect your brains, it can reduce your brain's overall mass and size. However, it can also affect a wide range of abilities, including your motor coordination, temperature regulation, sleep, mood, and various cognitive functions, including learning and memory. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you how how alcohol affects the heart. When affecting the heart, it can lead to very serious life-threatening situations for you. Overall, just consumption of alcohol actually causes your heart to contract less, and it makes it weaker, which is called alcoholic cardiomyopathy. Research shows that when the heart is weakened, it can't contract properly, so you're not getting enough circulation and blood to the rest of the body. This results in symptoms such as shortness of breath, tiredness, irregular heartbeat, swelling in your legs and feet, and in severe cases it can lead to heart failure, which comes from an article called Bupa, which is from researchers in the UK. Excessive binge drinking or alcohol consumption can also increase your risk for heart attack or stroke. These same researchers from the UK go on to show that binge drinking puts you at a high risk for blood pressure. So if you have this high risk for blood pressure, that can lead to the hardening and constriction of your blood vessels. When this happens, you therefore have a higher risk of stroke or a heart attack. So now I'm going to show you how alcohol affects the liver, which is what many of you may think you might already know about. Excessive alcohol drinking leads to alcoholic liver disease, which affects the liver's overall ability to function. This can happen from moderate or even just one night of binge drinking, can lead to a fatty liver. So essentially, a fatty liver is the first stage of alcoholic liver disease. It occurs after acute alcohol ingestion, is generally reversible with abstinence, and is not thought to predispose to any form of chronic liver disease if abstinent or moderation are maintained. That comes from a researcher named Renan. She is a doctor. However, if a fatty liver is maintained, it can lead to decreased liver function and also cirrhosis. So having this fatty liver is more so a temporary thing unless you continue to have excessive alcohol consumption. So if you continue with excessive alcohol consumption, it can lead to alcoholic liver cirrhosis, which is irreversible death of the liver cells, which is obviously not good. It is considered the last stage of alcoholic liver disease. Rennie continues on and says, as cells die in the liver, they create scar tissue, which inhibits the liver's ability to function. This scarring of the liver tissue doesn't allow for removal of waste and poison in the body. And this buildup could lead to illness or even death, especially when excessive alcohol consumption is continued. So finally, I'm going to show you how alcohol affects your immune system. It just affects your overall ability of your immune system to function and maintain adequate nutrition. Alcohol impairs the normal digestion of nutrients due to damage caused to the cells in the digestive tract and by interfering with the secretion of enzymes needed for digestion. That comes from an article called Alcohol Rehab. So essentially, over time, lack of nutrition can lead to serious deficits in the body, which can also harm your liver, which then again, you are not getting all the vitamins that you need, and can lead to severe malnutrition, which can lead to a whole host of other problems. Not only can it lead to just lack of nutrition, it can lead to life-threatening cancers. Excessive alcohol consumption affects the body's ability to fight infection. The National Cancer Institute states that alcohol generating reactive oxygen species can damage DNA, proteins, and lipids through a process called oxidation. Basically, the damage of these cellular DNA leads to a higher susceptibility of generating mutated cells, thus putting you at a higher risk for some types of cancers. In summary, I've went over how alcohol affects 4 major components of your body, those being the brain, liver, heart, and immune system. I showed how each one of these components could affect your body, short-term and long-term. Through this speech, I hope I gave each of you a better understanding of alcohol and what the possible effects could be from binge drinking or just excessive alcohol consumption. Thank you for listening, and I hope you have a great day.